Welcome back. All right, we'll give Tor a few more minutes here, and then we'll get started.
All right.
Shower complete.
Yay, there's Tor.
Yay!
Say, didn't have to wait that long. Besides, I'm Caribbean.
Yay! Yay!
Someone's happy.
It's almost like I haven't heard you in a while.
I mean, you could have called.
Yeah, I think maybe next time I will.
Adorable.
How's everyone doing?
Just a little sleepy.
Sleepy? Oh, that's
I
just
know.
It's
How are
just
we gonna wake you up?
Before you
Oh,
go.
Eaten by other spiders will do that.
Oh god, more spiders? You don't need more spiders. Has the mayor been procreating? Is that's what's been going on?
Only in town.
Wait a second. It's been a while, but I didn't ask this before. Why is there a well all the way out here?
Out where?
This far away from town.
For me, it's on the battle map, so.
Yeah, that's where the well is.
I think the explanation was that people previously, like hundreds of years ago, were looking for a well, and mined one out, and then found out that it was terrible, and then abandoned it. So that's why they didn't put anything near it. Which is why it's a day away from everything else. Probably because the river is a nice place for actual fresh water. And probably good soil.
Yep. So, I don't see Xinglu Po Storm logged in yet.
Oh, am I not? Oh, I didn't hit the launch game button.
Well, all right then, fellas. So, thanks again for stopping by, and we are doing our Jadeclaw now. So, last time our intrepid heroes went around town getting their affairs in order, making all sorts of fun arrangements and getting buildings arranged to get started, but they also used Ling the braggart or the arrogant or firebrand otter girl who said, "Oh, I want to find more out about this." And Tamara successfully channeled those energies towards something practical for the town, and that was to look into local history, perhaps a mineral survey. And as it would happen, there was some sort of rumor about a silver nugget. So the PCs went out and investigated a well that had been rumored to have been dug a couple hundred years ago. And what did they find but more spiders? So let's start this off by character introductions. So let's start with you tonight, Bane.
I am Yazi, the Wolf Dragon Artisan. My personality is confident. My motto is all will be revealed. I currently have the goal of make a pact with the Shang Tzu, uncover and defeat the Fire Strike Gang, and defeat the mercenaries.
Sounds good. Next up is Tamra Jin.
Yep. Tamra Jin, the spider minister and mayor of the town. Her motto is that actions speak louder than words, and her goals are to uncover the mystery of the Fire Strike Gang, the mercenaries, and the spiders.
Sounds good. Next up, we've got our slinky boy, Shenglu Po.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Shang Lu Po. My motto is it's not that the well is too deep, it's that the rope is too short. My personality is sly, and I have the same goals as everyone else.
Oh, last week your rope was not too short.
I was in a well full of spiders.
And next up, we have Lu Wei.
I am Lu Wei, the tiger slaver, whose motto is I can move mountains, and whose goals are the same as everyone else. Though I believe we're going to be close to finishing the uncover where the spiders come from.
That's right. And last but not least, we have our pretty Chi-Ling dancer, Ning.
Hello, I'm playing Ning, the Kirin sword dancer. Her motto is for the glory. She has all the same goals right now, and she's definitely not feeling the glory.
Well, all right then. So when we last left our heroes, they had defeated the spiders, and Shenglu Po had been lowered down into the well to see if he could get perhaps a soil sample, or maybe some rocks or nuggets or things like that. And so they lowered him down into the well, grabbed up a bucket of the loose stones and earth at his feet, and then pulled him back up. So if I do recall correctly as well, the group did run into some trouble. So for the sake of levity, we're all outside the lip of the hole in the ground, and he's got this wet bucket of muck.
May I suggest we inspect this away from the hole?
Well, sure, you can inspect it away from the hole.
But I think part of it is that we could bring this back and check it out later. But we
That's
still
away.
have a whole bunch of spiders to deal with.
That's true. Although, if I'm not mistaken, Ning, you might be sick or injured. I forget which.
Both, actually.
Ah, yes. Yes. Ah, yes, the biter bit you. Spider bite. So, you're welcome to continue further down if you'd like.
Jumping into the hole doesn't seem like a good plan.
We're not good in the dark.
You think maybe we could flush them out somehow?
That's my autobiography.
Well, you, Yazi, aren't even present, so...
I know. Out of character joke.
I want to be another joke too, guys. So, what's the plan?
We send Lu Wei down there to punch all the spiders.
Oh, you want me to punch all the spiders, huh?
How deep is the hole from
Or
the...
claw them, or bite them. I don't think you want to bite them.
How deep
I
is
don't
the
wanna
surface
get-
from the top to the water level?
That's
Well,
good.
the well is a couple paces wide, so it's got like a semicircular or circular opening, but it goes down probably maybe 15 feet before it widens. You can see the water reflecting off of the sunlight at the bottom of the well.
Right, so fairly deep. I'm wondering if maybe we could just, say, cut a few trees and throw a few logs in there and just let the water level rise and flush them out.
Well, you're not really sure how big the chamber is. It could be that it's only a 10 by 10 square, or it could open up into a larger chamber, or you're not sure.
Right, which makes that
Figure out the
calculation
structural
basically
stuff.
impossible.
We could do the old drop a torch down in the hole and watch as it falls.
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't tell us much, but my secondary plan would be to, say, do that on a larger scale. But, again, there is water at the bottom of it.
Mhm.
Smoking them out might not be effective.
It's too bad he didn't have like 100 skunks.
Can we explode them?
How would you go about exploding the hole?
It's not my area of expertise.
Ah, yes, what secret explosives have you been hiding from us all along?
I don't know. Maybe the otter lady knows something about explosives.
Well, Ling the Firebrand is more of the bookish sort, and she is also not in great shape, but she says, oh, I'm sure I could find some recipes for you somewhere, I guess. But I wouldn't know how to make them.
I believe we have at least an artisan, and I think we have an alchemist in the town now.
There was rumors that Yazi was building an alchemist's shop and having an alchemist be present.
In any case, may I suggest taking initiative and moving away from this place before the spiders decide that we may form a good dinner again?
I think they probably think the opposite right now, hence why they're hiding in the well.
But I agree. Let's not wait for them to change their mind.
Ah, well, at least we have half of our questions answered. I suppose we can come back shortly and finish the job.
Do you do anything with the dead spiders?
Can we burn them?
Eat them
You
again
can
next
certainly
spring.
burn them. Otherwise, you can just leave them in the field. I was just curious, so.
I think burning them is a good idea.
Maybe examining them first a little bit.
They are rather large.
Well, you did manage to kill one of the bigger ones, which is quite large and it's quite disgusting.
Academic squad, look at the spiders.
Yep. If you would like to do more research onto the spider, you could use mind and academics. In this case, since Ling is not feeling very well, she's more than happy to help you with her assist die, but not do the research herself. She would like to get home and have some soup.
Will supernatural apply or not?
It absolutely would.
Oh goody, you might have more dice than I do, so maybe I should assist you.
So mind and supernatural, mind, academics, supernatural, or something else?
Mind and academics, and you can add supernatural to those dice.
And it looks like you'll have 2 assist dice as well.
I'll take that extended silence as dice. Yeah, adding in. There we go.
Yeah.
So I count 4 successes there. So Ning, as it turns out, happens to recall some of this from her training or for her own legends. But looking at one of these giant disgusting spiders, it appears as though it's like a regular spider, but it's been somehow warped or twisted around using some sort of fell sorcery. Perhaps even by a spirit of the vermin of the state.
Why are you all looking at me like that?
I guess their patience is hanging on by a thread? I don't know. I thought it was funny in my head. But yeah, so it's at least the smaller ones, the black ones, the little ones, those appear more normal. The sort of spiders you would see uh, in the middle of like a very dense forest, kind of more primevally forest, that they can get large numbers as pests and can be dangerous, but generally speaking, they don't really do much apart from do their own thing. They don't really come out unless there's something driving them, perhaps.
Well, it didn't seem like they had anything naturally driving them out, at least not when we came here. We
They're
could
just
search
kinda-
the area first.
Just kind of hanging out.
Well, you do recall they were kind of just coming in and out of that well entrance. When you kind of wandered into them, there was like almost a web that you ran into, or that Ling almost ran into, or kind of did, and that sort of alerted them to your presence.
Very true. But I guess the bigger question is what would be driving them away from the well without others actually stepping in, like us?
Well, I suppose the question is, if you can figure out where they're coming from, you might be able to stop them that way, or what's going on in that well itself. Or you could even just park outside and kill them as they come out.
Maybe there's another, safer way into the well where we don't have to simply drop down 15 feet straight into water and get surrounded. Maybe we could try looking for a more natural cavern entrance.
All right. It is probably maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but you can certainly do a searching roll if you'd like.
That'd be a good idea. Just depends on who is actually very good at searching. Anybody?
I-
Actually, nobody.
I have no dice in searching, and my mind is. It's a massive D4. I'll search for you.
He's a dum dum.
I'll go searching.
Oh, well, I have a D8 mind, and that's about it.
I get lost.
You found the well. That's where they're coming from, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what were we doing?
Well, I looked a whole 3 feet, and I didn't find anything.
What's everybody
you
rolling?
can
I just
claim a bonus from me.
So right now, Sheng Lupo, we are doing a search to see, using the searching skill to see if maybe we can find an alternative entrance apart from the well's drop down.
Mind and searching.
Mind and searching.
I also have a success.
We're just sort of spending, I guess, maybe the next hour or so searching around to see if maybe there's another low point, or maybe there's some rocks that, there is water, so you're searching for water, but after a little while, you don't really find anything. Make a mind and observation, except for Lu Wei, who failed the die roll.
So another mind roll, then. Hey.
Can I repeat my success?
I have 8.
I can.
Okay. Well, with one success, you do all hear kind of a squealing roar sound echo from the well. Like a "Wah!"
So, should we go home now?
I want to know what that is. That is definitely not a spider. We don't make that kind of noise.
Well, these aren't. These are like weird curse spiders.
He's
This
like
sort of gives you a
weird
little bit of a look
spiders.
regardless.
All I'm saying is I'm not going in that hole to see what screamed, and so I hope you have another plan.
So we definitely did not find a secondary way in.
That is correct.
Okay.
At least in the time that you spent searching, but then again, none of you are really that skilled in doing that sort of thing.
We're all blind.
Well, you're just all unskilled in it.
I should have bought a tracker.
We are all civilized people.
Exactly.
Civilized people who lose everything. Lose track of everything. Well, maybe we should get another pair of eyes out here. Or perhaps I should send the militia out. At least have them look for the entrance.
That seems actually like a reasonably good idea, but I'm not too smart about that. But more people can find more things, right?
That is a true statement.
Well, since you lot seem like you're all poisoned, or at least some of you are, we'll go back, we'll let you rest, and I'll return with the militia to at least find what we need to know, and then proceed from there.
So you're just gonna camp out, I take it, or?
I'm gonna return with them, obviously.
Okay. So who's gonna stay? Who's gonna return?
Okay, who's not sick besides myself? Is it Slinky Boy? Storm?
What? Sorry.
Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
Okay. How about we stay out here for the night then, I guess? Until they come back.
Sure. I'm a team player.
Do you have the gift of team player?
No, so give me that if we finish the spider goal.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, what's more team player than letting yourself be lowered into a hole full of spiders alone?
Well, yes, you did have that that bucket of gunk as well. There were several, I guess, maybe golf ball sized rocks in there as well. So you do have that.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Y'all
give
are
that
just
to your
like-
friends, or do you hold on to that?
I should give that to the sick otter lady because she's the, not to say she's the smartest, but she's the most academic.
She'll definitely find out once we have some time left back in the village.
Yeah, she's away
The-
from
in
upstairs,
fact-
and she's not really up for doing much apart from eating soup and laying down.
Well, the bucket's not going anywhere, and neither's the hole in the ground. So she can just rest up for now.
Well, she wants to go back and yeah. I'm not camping out here. What are you, crazy? Did you hear that?
Of course not.
It looks like it might rain. Come to think of it, let me roll. Okay, no, it's actually rather nice weather out.
Yay.
But she still thinks it might rain.
Well, let's get you all back to the village then.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so is anybody staying behind, or is everybody heading back?
Well, I'm not staying here alone.
I mean, like, if the spiders do come out and it's just the two of us, what's the
Oh, we can
plan?
handle them. It's just some spiders. Are you afraid of some spiders? Are you gonna let them boss you around?
I don't know. The last time we fought spiders, just the two of us, it didn't go great for me.
Yeah, but you've gotten stronger since then.
Do you really want to stay here while they go back?
Well, do you?
I mean, not really. But someone Someone has to do it.
You're gonna let spiders boss you around. The camera goes back to Tamra.
That was the joke.
Anyway, I guess then, since nobody's really that keen on staying, I guess we can switch it back over to the Uchin map. So 1 second, and I'll get us over there. Okay, now the question is, okay, so we still had the tokens where they used to be. So Shenglu Po is in the mulberry farm.
All around the mulberry bush.
You're neither of those things.
I am a weasel. The monkey chase.
Are you? I thought you were an otter. You are so very confusing.
No, everyone else just keeps
otter.
calling me an otter.
As always, I am a slave to public opinion.
So, assuming that then everybody will go back to their the places that they have on the map, feel free to move yourself wherever you'd like. But yeah, Ling returns back to the tea house and collapses in her bed and feels really sick, but doesn't complain too much. She yells for one of the skunks to come and bring her some tea later, but yeah, she is not conscious for very long.
Ning herself is going to get cleaned up and maybe try to check on the miracle healer that is supposed to be in the town.
Ah, yes, brother Pierre, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, she would not know his name, so.
Swear I wrote it down, but yes, a brother of some type. Brother Pierre is good enough. Oh, Brother
Okay.
Pierre, would you so kindly check in on these two or three?
He's
They
over.
poisoned well out.
He's in the stables. I mean, he's doing his own thing. So he's not like staying at the mayor's house. He's sort of converted it into a little chapel.
Shirtless work, yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna go to him and basically just request for him to check in on everyone.
Oh, I see. Of course, I can check in. Is there any specific place you'd like me to go?
I don't hear
Yazi,
him.
what's wrong? Yazi? Yazi?
What? Yeah, I know. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Are you with us again?
Yeah, no, it was just Discord that crashed.
Okay.
Which means nobody heard anything you said after something.
I kind of halted us because I knew you wouldn't be streaming our audio.
I guess to pick up, Tamara is going to Brother Pierre and is asking him to check up on everyone.
Okay. Well, he's certainly willing to do that. So he will first start by going to the tea house, since that seems to be where most people kind of congregate. Um, and he comes in, of course, and sees Ning kind of collapsed into a chair. Say, "Oh my goodness, you poor thing! What horrible fate became of you?"
I got bitten by a spider.
Spider, you say? That's no good. And he pulls out like a well-worn like prayer book and starts to say, like go through the various prayers, like and lo, Heloise said, etc., etc., etc. Please, I implore you to heal the suffering of this poor Chiling dancer, and let's see how we do here. So I'm just trying to find the healing spell specifically in the book, because I know it's a little janky. Well, to keep it going. All right, let me just roll it.
Oh, did you find it already?
No, do you have a page number?
No, I was looking. That's why I.
Okay. I know it's like his academics versus like the person they're doing it to it also has to roll.
Oh, I must have gone past it. Ah, there we go. Healing is on page 306. Trigger, successful rally. Targets will and your academics. Contest the roll against 2d8. The silence there. I thought maybe I crashed again.
So, Ning, why don't you go ahead and roll your will, and that will be added to the check versus 2d8s.
Will and academics, or just will?
Just will.
Yeah, he rolls his academics and your will, and it's contested against just a flat 2d8. You, of course, want 3 successes, which I think is impossible unless he's tapping something.
Can I throw my personality here?
Sure.
Wow. So I suppose I am not very convinced of his actions.
Your spirit is weak.
Well, he did get a single success,
Which removes hurt.
You do feel a strange sensation overtake you, but it doesn't seem to affect the injuries that you have, as well as the sickness. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. It seems as though your faith isn't as strong." And he will go check up on Ling, the otter girl.
Before that, I will still donate a bow for his troubles.
He, of course, will graciously accept and say, "Yes, you are certainly welcome to join my services." And he gives you the every day at this time, or every morning at this time, as well as our Sunday services as well. But he is used to doing his own thing, and so he goes upstairs and tends to the otter. And if nobody bothers him, he will return back downstairs. Now, is there anybody else that he should go and see? Because I think there's Shenglu Po, did you also get hit again?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought a total of 3 of us were poisoned. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, there was the
Did
otter.
Lue get hit?
No, I am perfectly fine. I've been hit, but I've never been.
Because they had to inflict the hurt condition at the same time, and he didn't get that, so.
Yep.
And I didn't even get hit because I had my awesome pair.
Because your rope is long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from that, he'll go back to the stables and start taking care of some more preparations and see if he can transcribe some of the holy teachings into Zhanghui's. But apart from the healing quotas, you need to have 24 to cure injury and 24 to heal a sick condition. But the good news is you can do them both at the same time. So if you have a home-cooked meal, for example, that will count 1 towards the injury and 1 towards the illness or sickness.
Random question on my mind that I keep forgetting about. I think at one point we said that 4 of the refugees might be trainable to the militia.
Yep.
Were they officially being trained, or was that just a possibility?
It was just a possibility. Right now, the captain of the guard is sort of incorporating the existing guards. He's certainly using the new equipment, taking stock of it. He's got his hands full trying to do that, but he thus far hasn't been asked to train anybody.
Right. Yeah, keeping the current militia well trained is definitely the priority. But whenever we get to the next chance, I suppose that's the next task on board. But actually, I'm going to start talking with them about planning to take a few of the militia with me back to the well to see if we can have enough eyes to find anything out there.
Okay. How many militia do you take back?
I'm thinking I might take 5 with me.
Well, you're the mayor. They can certainly do that.
Yeah, I don't want to completely leave the town undefended or anything. That'd be silly.
Well, let's say for the sake of levity that given the time that you were out in the field and coming back, it's 6 days into your plans there, Yazi. So,
Jesus. Alright. Man, things come and go then.
yes. So the first 2 days, you sent some boats out, and the wagon returns. And then after a couple days, too, Ryu and the 6 guards and Fei Hong leave with the order that you wanted to put out, and then they come back, after the 6 days up. So
Yeah, there's a lot of boats coming and
Yeah,
stuff
so
being
you-
unloaded.
that is something you've noticed is that since Yazi's arrival, there's been a lot of traffic on the river. Boats coming and going. There is a wagon that seems to be making its regular stops and drop-offs, and there's orders for a bunkhouse to come up, and there's construction on just a lot of stuff going on. It seems like the village is really starting to be abuzz with activity.
Since it's another day, I would like to begrudgingly go to Yazi and find out how much it would cost to make a small shield.
Sorry about
Or
that. I
buy
crashed
a
for a
small
second there.
shield.
Well, Yazi is in the blacksmith. So, are you there with us, Yazi? Are you back?
Yes, I was in the middle of changing my my boat and all the newcomers to the visible there when apparently Discord thought, hey, I have some sort of connection to Firefox. No, wait, I don't. I'll just crash everything. Why not?
Oh God.
Anyways, yes, I'm back. Everything's good. Small shield, you say?
So Ning comes into your blacksmith looking a little worse for wear.
Ah, yes. Good, I forget your name. You're new to this town?
Well, I'm recent here. You might have seen me in the tavern.
I'm afraid I do not spend much time at the tavern, my good fellow. And, of course, Yazi, always arms folded behind the back, mask up. What is it I could do you for?
I am looking for some kind of small shield, something that is that would not be very heavy and easy to carry around.
Yes, could you do me a favor? Stand up straight.
And she's standing up straight, and she's quite tall.
Right, and could you extend your arm at a 90-degree angle? The arm you would preferably be using to hold that shield?
Definitely.
Yes. Are you sure that you want a shield?
I want a small shield, yes.
Might I interest you instead in, say, a fan?
Ooh.
Out of character, I was thinking about a buckler, but yes,
I think you're thinking out of character. I think you're thinking about the same thing. Because the fan will give you the same bonuses, but it has the, the added effect of having both an attack and cover and parry and...
The fan descriptor.
It does
Yeah.
everything.
And it looks nice, is what I'm really getting at here. It's
Okay.
a better appearance than having
For
a
sword
small...
dancer.
Yeah,
Covers, it parries,
has,
it even slices eggs.
a better appearance to you than having a small round object on your arm, rather than a thing that you can fold and do all these dance or moves with.
Well, I was thinking of just using it for the spiders and not much more, but yeah, a fan is a good idea, definitely.
It's still an affordable weapon.
Yes, of course, he'll give you a small bow, of course. That would come out to about 4.8 Vu. Given that you're a member of this village, and I have given my word to a discount for all village members.
Are you a fan of this price?
Eh,
Can you please repeat the price?
4.8 Vu.
Definitely.
I am currently on back order due to the mayor's previous order, so that would take me about 3 days to get to, if that's fine by you. If it's
Sure.
fine by you, then come back in 3 days with the amount, and I will see to it that your order is complete.
I will put a down payment on it then.
How much would that be?
2 Boo.
No, you don't need to cry.
Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway.
Alright. He'll take the money and put it into a small pouch on his side. Something gets hidden in the straps that keep his vest to his robes. Was there anything else that you would be interested in?
Not at the moment, thank you.
Not a sword that seeks your fancy, a spear, perhaps better armor?
I have my swords are my pride, and it would take much more than. I don't want to insult you, but
Well, then
these swords have
let's
been.
stop there before you see any reason to. Perhaps maybe some acid etching then.
She's not willing to do anything to them because they have been given to her by some important people, and they are her pride and joy.
And she kind of pulls them away and goes, "No, relish the thought."
Well, I mean, she wasn't. I hope she wasn't holding them at me. And nothing for armor?
I will think about it.
I mean, we're having this conversation, but in the background it should be noted that there's a forge being built.
And he wants work. I need to pay off this forge somehow.
No, the forge is paid for. It's actually just the
Make
time
profit.
required to make it. Yeah, I mean, there is that. I'm really using my overhead here.
Oh, Yazzie must really not like me. Like, what weapon do you use? I use my hands.
No, you
What
remember
weapon?
before I specifically asked you, do you want anything? And you're like, no. And I'm like, you sure? What armor are you wearing? And you're
My
like,
clothes.
I'm good with it. So,
Exactly.
okay. Well, I'm not selling anything to you, sheep ass. Hope you don't get shot.
Okay, in any case, I will thank Yazzie for his time and head back because one, I need to. I'm not feeling very well, and two, I should entertain the crowds.
Before you leave,
Yes.
you don't look very well.
Ah.
I think perhaps. And sorry, since I didn't get to do this before, since my net disconnected while I was doing it. Move this guy up the way, because he should be up here somewhere. I did recently bring a physician into the village.
I see.
Perhaps you should see a doctor.
That might be a good idea indeed.
I mean, if you're so willing, he will escort you to the doctor.
I mean, if you just tell her where to go, she'll be very fine with that. If you insist on escorting her, she will definitely puff up, straighten up, and just march out.
March out in what direction, though?
The correct one.
Okay, I didn't know if you meant march out away from him, like get away from me, or to follow. Because yes, he will bring you up to the workhouse where the doctor's made his home. Not his home, but where he's working. Tyson.
So near the warehouse in the
Two of us at the same
workhouse.
time. Yes, the workhouse. Where the indentured of the town live.
This seems to also to be a new fixture of the town with Yazzie arriving.
Yes, it is run by Mo Chu, the Scorpion militiaman, who tends to ride up and down the streets when there is no work to be done for the indentured on her destrier. But for the time being, we're here to see Tyson, the jackal physician, who you might notice is also wearing the mask of a plague doctor. Because you can't be so sure around these parts. And the last person you want getting sick is your doctor.
That's true. But the doctor that Yazi has is a pretty solid doctor. So you can also receive healing there if you'd like.
At the very least, it'll put points towards your quota.
So what are his rates? Or rather, yours, Yazi.
Oh, it's only 2 boo per visit.
All right.
He's
let's
charging normal
see
rates.
then.
What I'm making money back is the bulk. You people get hurt all the fucking time. That's out of character, as he doesn't curse. If ever I say something that seems a little bit toward, that's me. Yazi is very straight-laced, arms behind the back. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. You know, subservient.
Well, why don't you, Bane, then roll the dice the doctor would use for their for Ning's healing quota.
Alright, let's see here. That's why I've been double checking this entire time. Because I add a plus D12 and a 2D6 to recovery. I'm just trying to figure out what the healing roll actually is.
Well, they'd put their mind and career towards it.
Mind and career.
At least.
Alright.
NPCs don't have marks, so.
I had it written down somewhere. Like on another sheet.
And I guess it's just plus D12. So. Oh, never mind. That's what that is right there. Boom.
So it looks like 2 successes there towards your healing quota for both sick and injured.
I think, it's one at a time. You gotta cure one and then the other.
Oh my.
Yeah, but there's all that other little things that you can do along the way, like taking a bath, eating well, sleeping well. And apparently you gotta start with sick.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of wondered about that, but
A
I wasn't
character
sure.
who is sick must also be healed from a quota, 24 points, before any healing of injury can begin. Page 130.
Okay, so I was wrong. Them's the rules, it sounds like. Unless you want to keep you could attend church.
Maybe let's leave it for later. Let's see who else wants to do something.
Okay.
In this little time skip we're doing, I'll oversee construction on the new bunkhouse. So not much doing role play wise, but that's what I'll be doing in these few days.
So I think the consensus we're at is we're waiting for everyone to heal up from sick and injured, aren't we?
What can
Unless we split the party.
a tiger slaver do in the meantime?
I assume my big guys
Man,
are in
it's a
town
big
now, too. The
You
big
should
guns.
bring soup to the little otter lady, just to spite her.
I shall bring her soup if someone tells me to.
Oh shit, also if it's 6 days, your order is complete. Tamra.
Okay.
So that's
What else would have been built then?
4 more wooden shields, 5 long spears, and 14 longbows.
Oh, wait, you get the right sheet.
I hope you got that, because I already deleted them off of my work order.
So it sounds like you're just upgrading them to like your standard guard equipment then.
Yeah, more or less. They have shields, long swords, and longbows now, and a couple of them can have long spears.
Sounds good.
So
They've
it's
moved away
pretty-
from being kind of militia derpinators, so
So given that we're gonna have some time, I have to decide between waiting on everyone or just sending the militia out to finish this off.
Well, you know, my
Which
guardsmen are
might
in
be-
town now, too.
Which might mean I might want to poke our sick little otter, and now that she has some time with the bucket, maybe see if she gets to that. Or will she be resting up before even getting back to work?
she's probably not going to try, unless you decide to pay her real money, is going to focus on getting better.
It's sort of half the point. Well, maybe I could take the bucket and take it to someone else who might know. I wonder if Yazi would know.
Yes, Yazi, do you happen to have any skills in geology or academics that might be useful in identifying stones?
I do have academics. I don't suppose craft would apply.
I would say no.
What
Just to
about
identify.
my craft specialty in blacksmithing? Does that not help me identify metals that I use?
I'd say yeah. You add your specialty, but not the rest of the craft dice.
So then you have Tamara and the scribe, and not the otter, I suppose, right?
Yep. So Samuel
So-
can certainly assist if you'd like. Otherwise, he can perform research too.
Yeah, Samuel should assist on this check, so let's go ahead
Okay.
and go ahead and take 2d8 assist. Well, I guess he has to roll.
Yeah. Sadly, he does not help. He's not really sure what.
So,
I thought he had academics.
mind, academics, 2d8 bonus.
Yes, I probably should add his academics on there too.
Okay, I do assist you.
Samuel does not.
Okay, so 1d8 bonus. My craft specialty. If we're doing it in my forge, how about my other guys? Can Bunra and Nyan help me as well?
If they have the craft specialty blacksmithing, then yes, they can roll to see.
Right. No, they don't. One is a gunsmith and the other is just a normal person. Two successes. I have no favorite use of academics.
You could use your
Metallurgy?
Metallurgy. Yep, that would work.
Makes sense to me. Let me spell it right, though. And that is a d8. Well, fuck me. 2 successes.
Well, with 2 successes, you're able to identify that of the various stones and that are in the bucket, it looks like there's at least lead in the stones as well, in some of them. But you do catch in some of the smaller pieces that, yeah, in some of these nuggets there is silver. So it looks like it's kind of a combination. You'd have to try to separate them using some mining techniques, but there's certainly 2 types of metals there.
All right. Yeah.
Probably not a great drinking well if it's full of lead.
Perhaps that's why it was abandoned.
I mean, for a short time,
I
it'd
think
be
it was
great.
abandoned because of the spiders, but
Nobody wants to drink
you know,
it anyway.
even if the spiders might have saved everyone from lead poisoning.
What a noble service. Truly, spiders are the best of us.
The ironic thing is that the lead tastes sweet. It's the silver that would
Yeah, it
make
tastes crappy.
the water foul. Not to mention of the spider droppings that were certainly contaminating it.
Yep.
Just had to mention it.
And
All right.
chitin and whatnot. Yeah. But yes, at least the water itself is a little bluish as well. So, and the mud is also bluish.
Well, we still need to clear it out. Our most reliable fighters are out for the moment. We have the militia.
Is that an insult
And
to
we
Lu
need some
Wei?
good pair of eyes to actually find a safe way in that's not just jumping down a hole.
Why don't you just lower a lantern down on some rope?
That wouldn't necessarily make the situation any better tactically. Though I guess at least seeing how we're surrounded would help.
Indubitably.
I don't suppose you have good eyes on you, do you?
I have alright eyes. I don't understand the question.
What I'm saying is the rest of us are blind as bats and we can't spot a giant hole in the ground unless we see something else go into it.
I can see in the dark.
Shut up, you're not here.
You old spider lady.
I mean, I'm better at tracking things than I am finding things. If that difference matters to you.
To be honest, that could be useful too. I think we suspect there might be something else at play, though I'm not certain quite what yet. As if
Well,
I recall that right.
You are describing a giant hole in the ground, yes?
Yes, ostensibly connected to perhaps a wider system of caverns.
Filled with things that you'd rather be done with, right?
Correct.
Well, I think Yazi's gonna reach into that same, pouch that's in the straps and pull out a small piece of parchment, unfold it, look at it, I guess, you can't really describe facial features since he's wearing a mask. Look across town, basically, and say, if you wait at least 4 days, the alchemist's lab should be completed.
Well, that sounds very good for you, but what are you suggesting?
Have you never heard of liquid fire?
I have, though the thought hasn't entirely missed my mind. I'm mostly concerned that if we do that, if the mine would be usable or recoverable after that, if we cave it in like that.
Well, liquid fire is mostly an acidic that's combustible. I don't see why we should not then be able to fill it with a base, neutralizing the agent completely, and then drain out the mine after the fact.
Well, if you think it can work, and you're definitely wiser than me on these matters, then I don't see why it wouldn't be worth a try. And
Should
goodness
that
knows,
be
someone would love to not be poisoned again.
should that be the way that you desire to go, I would then have to consult with Ryu, my alchemist. And of course, Ryu would need to be compensated for his efforts.
Well, we have some time yet to decide, and, well, compensation we can come to an agreement on, I think. I might have need of you in this mine in the future.
Of course, he gives another bow. Of course.
Still, time is on our side, so I'll return in a few days. Perhaps everyone will feel much better by then. And scene.
I don't know how, if, Lady Tamra wants to mention all these high-end guards that are now wandering around her village.
Yeah, here's the other thing that when you guys get back and kind of recover a little bit, there's 6 members. It looks like they are like part of the nobles of the monkey that was so dismissive. Yeah, it seems almost like a couple of his bodyguard are walking around. They're armed with mountain scale armor, which is like the equivalent of plate armor, and wielding halberds.
Basically,
And,
what I have.
So they are, yeah, they're patrolling, and they look really fearsome, and yeah, but they seem to be somehow,
Tamara,
yeah, members of the personal guard are here.
Tamara will gather up some of her guards and the captain to just go and confront them and greet them. In the off chance that they are actually, from the source exactly, and not, Yazi's people. She doesn't know that yet.
Well, they of course introduced themselves. The names are on their plates there, but it sounds as though Yazi somehow paid for and convinced the 6 members of the noble guard, the bodyguard, to at least temporarily, perhaps permanently, come to the village to protect both the town, but also the new industry that seems to be building up. And this is a little bit unorthodox, simply because they're usually taken from like the best of the military class. And
not to mention, it's a member of the lower class here with very heavily armed individuals.
Right, but the good news is that you, as the mayor, you're obviously nobility, and they appear to be loyal to that. So
okay, so she kind of like takes stock of that and kind of goes, and is just kind of wandering in her mind, like if it came to it, would they actually stand to defend the village and all that? And she just she does so politely. She's mostly just curious about them, their stances, their duties. And well, if it seems like they're not actually up to doing anything, and they are willing to help as the local militia,
Not
perhaps
doing anything.
one
They're
of them
guarding
could
my
come.
shops.
Perhaps one of them might come to clear out the spiders nearby then, if they are so willing to help the village.
I will beat you to death with a
And
bag
of course
money.
it is coded in the language of, well, obviously to prove your genuine loyalty here. With just a simple little task and order. And, well, we'll see how they respond to Tamara and that sort of request.
well, what sort of skills would you have to try to convince them?
Well, I am a well, I do have a good posture and noble language behind me, and just a wonderful flair for the dramatic importance of loyalty of us both to the heavens and following through on duty. So I'm gonna go for presence, nobility, and do I have anything else for that? I think just nobility and legal authority probably works, right?
Sure.
Okay. So that leaves me with a D8, 2D6, and 2D12. Three. Ooh.
Okay. Well, they do have a mission, but it seems as though, considering you're in charge, that's not too much of a deviation, but you might at best only be able to get 2 to follow you.
All right. Well, that should prove plenty enough, and I would be grateful for their assistance. For truly, they are honorable and noble warriors, one and all.
Oh, yes.
All right. So Tamara will sit on that while seeing how everyone else sort of recovers, and maybe try to convince a few of the refugees to come train with the rest of the militia, or take up a little bit of extra training with her herself.
Okay. You can certainly find those 4 potential ones.
Mhm.
As far as training goes, do you have skills that would assist in that endeavor?
Well, I am in fact a leader.
That would work.
And in fact, their leader. Their right and noble leader.
You can certainly add the gift of will. You can roll the d12 leadership die and then any presence dice if you have them.
Let's see. So you said will, leadership.
Yep.
Any presence. And nobility, I think you said?
Just not nobility, since in this case it's trying to train them to get down to business to defeat the Huns and such.
So will, presence, leadership. That everything?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, let's do it.
Dude.
Training doesn't go too great today.
Yeah, they're
Perhaps the captain ought to take care of this.
yeah, you seem enthusiastic, but it seems like you don't really know what you're doing. So the captain's sort of like, okay, it's okay, Mayor, I'll take care of it. But you tried.
Oh, you know what? I have militia leader. Maybe that could count for something.
Sure.
Let's see if the D12 changes it at all.
Yeah. No.
Oh, they're out of towners.
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, to your question there, Ning, in the chat, after the first night or so, you go to rest, but you do hear a knock on your door, and the priest seems at least, or Brother Pierre does seem at least a little persistent. He says, my dear, it seems you're still sick and injured. Why, you poor thing, I haven't given up on you. Would you like to once again petition the goddess to see if we might be able to heal you of your sickness and injuries?
Definitely.
All right. So join me in prayer then, won't you? Take my hands and we'll pray together. So first roll your willpower.
I mean, if it's been 6 days, we have 5 more rolls of this before we get to now.
Well, that depends on if he comes by every single day. But that's one success at least.
Well, I mean, he's the town's shirtless priest that works in the stable, visiting the town's erotic dancer. Of course he's gonna stop by every day.
Oh, man. Well, in this case, I'm going to treat this as 2 successes, simply because in this case, he is working to convert people and doing Heloise's bidding, I guess you could say. So with 2 successes, let's check the book here.
Her injured. He gets rid of injured. But stick remains.
You feel your... I'm going to say that since this is a miracle, the injury is still cured.
Well, no, that's what normally would happen with 2 successes.
Yeah.
Sick remains and injured would get rid of.
Yep. So injury is taken care of. You feel a warm light kind of radiate from his hands, and it seems to spread throughout your body as the gashes and pain flesh repair themselves. You still feel sick and woozy from the toxin from that spider, but you feel made whole. And he, of course, says thank you to Heloise and spends a little bit of time conversing with you over tea, which you can, of course, he brings his own tea, but you can add 1 to your healing quota. It's almost as if he's trying to be friendly with you in hopes that you will become a member of the church.
And I will, of course, donate to his cause. I will donate a whole 5 boo.
Oh wow, he's taken by your generosity and says, "Oh, you are far too kind." Our God is an awesome God. Anyway, what is also what are Shen Lu Po and Lu Wei doing in the meantime?
I'll let Shen go first because I don't know him very well.
He might still be in the bathroom.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I'm just honestly looking around to do some work here and there where possible, earn a little money, and then get drunk.
What's that? You need some money. I've got work that needs to be done.
If you need heavy things moved, that's basically what I'm doing.
I was actually thinking more like chopping wood.
Well, that's still heavy things moving, I guess.
Yes.
Axe heads are heavy. I will chop wood.
So, in this case, do a melee combat roll and add any strength dice to it. We'll just see how many dice, to see how effective you are at chopping all these trees down.
So, body, strength,
Yep.
and melee combat.
Yep.
I'm very good at chopping wood.
So with 3 successes, yes, Lu Wei kind of is bopping around Yuchin for a little bit and stops by Yazi's blacksmith and checks to see if there's anything he needs done. And so Yazi convinces him to chop wood, of which he just decimates the pile. It's very clear that Lu Wei is a very powerful and strong worker.
Sorry, when I said chop wood, I meant chop trees down.
Or chop trees. Okay.
Yeah, I need a raw supply of wood.
I'm felling trees.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, can you chop those trees down? And
So
then,
every
Comes back with one over each arm.
let's see, I think it was every stone worth of wood that you bring back, I'll give you 2 boo.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Fine.
I think that's the cost. I'll
I'm
double check.
perfectly fine with that.
So let's see here. How much does a single tree weigh?
A lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you also need the conversion of stone to actual weight.
Right.
Let me see. A stone is.
It's like 14 pounds. If I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right. And I'll double check the actual. I'm not pulling that number out of thin air. The book suggests cheap weight to money ratio.
The stone is 14 pounds. Yes. Let's see.
Also, how big are the trees around here?
Well, they're still, they're pretty large. You're probably looking at maybe like a 2-foot diameter trunk.
This is the stuff I usually get into. Oh, look, estimating the weight of logs and standing timber.
That's exactly what we want.
Yep, cheap item, and I'm going to consider just raw wood to be cheap.
Yeah.
2 boo per stone.
Well, with those 3 successes, I'm going to say that with 3, maybe like we'll say a 1.5-foot diameter tree that goes up 30 feet.
Okay, 1.5 foot diameter would be 18 inches.
We're chopping trees down, Sheng Lu Po. Or rather, Lu Wei is.
Let's just put it this way: it's gonna end up in the tonnage.
Okay, wait. How big was it?
18 inches in diameter and
18
about 30 feet tall.
All right. 1 second. Black pine, white pine. Okay, we'll go with a white pine. Most common tree in the area. I'm sorry, I'm just using real-world examples of the area that this game is supposed to be in.
I did a search here and found like a farming agricultural sciences class of the graduate level that talks about determining the weight of standard hardwood trees.
Weight
Oh
per
god,
cubic
hardwood
foot.
Like, this is a college class.
Amusingly, I had a friend, and he wanted to be, in Dutch we call it a forest ranger, and he's like, yeah, I want to become a forest ranger. I want to plant trees and take care of the forest. And he went to take classes, and it was all about how to cut down trees and whatnot. So he's like,
Yep.
I don't like that.
Well, I found this. I was looking at this chart and I realized I don't know how to read this fucking chart. So weight per cubic foot, right? Okay, well, let's see. 36, so we'll go to 64 for an 18-inch diameter. 64 what?
For measuring.
May
Okay.
I suggest
Math!
something?
Look,
Sorry,
put it
what was
this
that?
way, it's going to be a lot of weight.
May I suggest something simple?
Sure.
Just give him 10 boo per tree, and everyone will be
Well,
happy.
now I'm shortchanging him. He wouldn't be happy.
So let's say
30 foot is
2,000
a-
pounds for an average tree. Divide by 12 for stone, so 166
14.
stones.
A stone is 14.
14?
Because you have to then, then
142.
branch the tree,
143.
strip the bark, do all kinds of
Oh, yeah.
things to it to make it actual usable wood.
I believe he wants the wood to burn it.
No, I have a carpenter who works for me.
Yeah, so he just needs to get it to the. Yeah, I'm sure the carpenter has a sawyer or something like that. But yeah, we'll say that each one of these trees, for the sake of levity, is about a single ton.
That's a lot of weight I'm chopping down.
Yeah, given the successes that you've got, and given how big you are, I would say that you chopped down 3 trees today. So at 144 stone apiece, that's a lot.
Alright, so we're looking at 432 total stone, right?
Yep.
Times 2. I owe you 864 boo.
Cheapers.
Alright. So I will pay him 864 boo.
Do you have that in cash?
Yes.
So suddenly, Louis.
Actually, hold on. Let me just double check. I'm 90% sure. Sorry, most of my numbers are in spreadsheets. So they're
No
not.
problem.
So hold on.
Well, the good news is you don't have to transport them. You don't have to.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
why I would. The most of the work that the indentures would do would be this. Let's see, 167.2 plus 2970 minus 4 minus 9 minus 65.2. Sorry, 655.2 minus 900 minus 216 minus 144. Yeah, I'm good. Can still pay you.
So yes, Louis, you spend like your time chopping these trees down, and some of the hirelings also help drag him back to the carpenter's place where I'm sure they've outside they saw the branches off and debark it and do the rest of that stuff. But at the end of it, you get this ton of money.
I have to wonder then, are you not sharing your money with hirelings?
I guess, yeah.
He's got enough to share.
I'll share 64 of those 800 boo of them. I think they'll be happy with that. Here,
Our
yeah.
big, strong kitty cat managed
We
to-
said, what, 842? Just so I can put that to my sheet.
And now you have literal tons of wood.
Yes.
So that should last you a bit.
How much tonnage did we say again? No, never mind. I need to keep track of it in boo anyway. So 842 boo worth of wood material.
Of wood. Yeah, that'll work.
While you're chopping trees, Luwei, your otter friend can't help but watch you as you swing that axe with your broad chest, and she gets flustered.
Yeah.
But
Kitty cat.
partway through, she decides to bury the hatchet and comes with a bucket of water for you.
Oh, I will thank her and wash myself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe she can help get your bath.
Well, she was.
Those muscles
The water's
are all
cold.
tense.
It's evident that she probably brought it for you to drink, but she's not complaining.
But-
you.
I'm gonna have to start throwing my guards out as like decency police here.
Clearly, I picked the wrong trade. Luwei is rich now, and I haven't gotten paid in the last 2 weeks.
You have no authority. Yeah, well, you have authority. I have no authority.
I do have authority.
Yeah, that's what's
And
Well,
up.
this is why I'm building myself a house. To
Oh,
get something on
Shit,
there.
Poe. Your dogwood is
Oh, yeah,
here.
you got wood to make furniture now.
No, your dogwood is here.
Oh yeah, also that. I'll take care of that. But yeah, a question for Liz while it's
Will it blow?
Sure.
part of my agreement with Yazi was in exchange for helping him with his endeavors. He'd fill the house I'm going to build myself with furniture, and the question was how much like a nice sized house full of furniture would cost.
And see,
But
that's
just the
something that I wish.
furniture.
That is literally something I wish Rafferty would actually publish, just because that's, like, how do I furnish my mansion? What does a house cost?
Well, I
you
mean,
can
there's
do-
tapestries, rugs, statues. That's all in there. Just there's no
Sure, but not
actual chairs.
or beds or,
Can't wait for that book to come out. The big
Yeah.
book of furniture costs.
Well, they have an old world armory for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and it does very similar things in that regard.
Basically, what Liz is saying is she wants the Sears catalog for Ironclaw.
God, yes. I would buy it.
The Stronghold Builder's Guide, perhaps.
I bought that book, and I made all the strongholds with that guide.
I read that book as much as possible, and I'm still like, I want more.
I know. And they did the math all terrible in that book.
Yeah.
It was like, here's how you do a freestanding wall. It's like, how did you come to that number? But anyway. But in any case, yeah, as far as the house costing, I guess you could tap a wealth gift. If you had a couple thousand boo, that would probably also just sort of spitballing it. Otherwise, you can build it yourself.
Yeah, the building it's part of the town building initiative, so it's more just the furniture that I am getting from Yazi.
No, he wants to know how much the furniture would cost, so I know how much that I need to throw at him.
The questions you could get asked.
Or we could just try and figure out the weight of wood needed.
Well, what sort of things do you want?
How many trees are needed to make a house?
I mean, yeah, if I knew what you wanted, I could give you a ballpark. Because,
Right,
again, I've got the
okay.
entire listing of stuff. So I could, like,
Oh,
that sounds like the same amount of wood I use for a chest or things like that.
Right, and it'll be like, do you want a futon? Do you want a 4-poster bed? Do you want, all sorts of stuff? I guess a wine rack, a clock.
Okay, yeah, let's go through it. I want at least one nice 4-poster bed, or whatever the setting equivalent would be for myself.
Yes.
But then an additional guest quarters bed, which is more modest, and a servant's bed.
So yeah, probably like 120 boo for the giant 4-poster bed. Maybe something like 40 boo for something smaller and more modest, and then probably 15 boo for a futon.
What other furniture is typical of houses in this village?
See, I don't know these things.
They're all empty
I'm
houses,
looking-
so like a barrel
looking
and then
at
a
the,
chest.
Yeah, I'll get a chest, throw a chest on. I think the chests have like a price in the book, don't they?
Yeah.
I dropped
good
a
there.
relevant quote in the chat for like a modern home, which would be about 22 mature trees per house.
I'm not building the house. That's on y'all.
Yeah, it's
So,
on
yeah.
me to build the house.
You'd need about 22 feet or 22 trees. So maybe maybe Lu Wei can help you in that.
That would probably get you a house like the mayor's house.
So okay, maybe half of that. So let's say 11.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep it more modest than the mayor because I don't want the mayor to be mad at me. But
See,
I'm gonna have
no,
to
no,
start
no.
a housing association and keep you out of it.
No, I'm thinking here. He wants his house to be more modest than the mayor, so it's physically just 1 foot smaller on the outside, but it has a basement.
like.
Yeah, exactly.
A basement next to the river, genius.
A man cave.
Yeah, it looks like a table and chairs, and then the hearth for the kitchen would be up to the stonemason who works for the town.
Yeah, so I don't think a hearth is furniture.
But yeah, something we can
Just
later.
the beds. Yeah, let's go with the beds.
4-post bed, guest bed,
chairs,
servant's bed, chest, table, and chairs is what I got so far.
and just a couple barrels for storage. That's
Couple, that's
okay.
2.
Yeah, it's two barrels. Yeah, I think that's good enough for now.
Alright, that's still within affordability.
Oh, since you're a blacksmith, chamber pot.
Okay.
Nice.
4-post bed, guest bed, servant's bed, chest, tables, chairs, barrels, chamber pot.
Sounds good.
I like how the nature of this campaign switched over as soon as we're like, let's build shit. I'm not complaining. I think it's really funny.
It's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. Anyway.
Look, we're gonna flip this village, alright?
Exactly.
We really are. This is our new town building game.
To be fair, this is what we're doing while we're injured during downtime.
Yes. So
yeah, so it's good. We get to do the adventures and have a cool
cool mini game. So Ning, you can since let's see, your injury's healed. You're still a little bit woozy, but you can still perform since you don't have any gaping wounds. So you can do your presence performance dice with an either speed or body roll on it. And then for however many days you're doing that, you can either roll those independently or just multiply it by 5 or what have you. Does that make sense?
Body, dance, and presence. Yes.
Yep. And successes will be times 1.5 since you have the skunk helping you. Or the squirrel. Well, we'll count that as 2 successes for 1 day. You can roll them each day if you prefer to do it that way.
That would be a question of how many days are we now ahead?
I think everyone's still catching up to the 6 days.
So yeah, for brevity's sake, we'll say that the town is. We've been staying in for about 5 days or so. So the first day, you could do it 4 times. Okay. So it looks like the last one would give you 5 boo. The third to last would give you 3 boo. Second one would also give you 3 boo, and the first one would give you 2.
Okay, great. Not as good as chopping wood, apparently.
Well, to be fair, again, that's a lot. This guy dragged tons of wood back.
Yeah.
He was paying for the trees themselves, which
not necessarily the labor to cut them down.
Speaking of all that, though, in the 5 days, is anybody working at the workhouse?
What's that?
I said in the 5 days, is anybody working at the workhouse?
They will do whatever task you set them to go toward.
Well, the workhouse is an indenture program, for people who don't have money and all that stuff. So, I don't know that anybody's actually there.
Well, I think with some of the refugees, there's probably maybe 4 or 5 of them that are hanging around, if they don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, because the idea being if you're homeless or you don't have any money for food, that sort of thing, you indenture yourself for short contracts at the workhouse, and we will give you a place to sleep, we will give you food, and you work.
Sure. Well, we'll say 4 people are there semi-regularly.
Okay.
What's our ballpark for how long it would take to build the town bunkhouse?
A few weeks.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like at this point, since it's still fairly new, there's probably like a couple lean-tos and some tents.
Alright, so 4 or 5 people. How much wood would they cut?
Again, you're asking me all these questions. I have no idea. If you put them at the sawmill, they'll basically act as unskilled labor. So they can... I don't know how long it takes.
That's 1d6. How many dice does it take to cut down a tree?
Don't know.
To be fair, I showed you all these. I showed you all these sheets like 2 weeks ago. You should have known these were questions that were going to be asked.
I'm sorry, I didn't have this. I'm back in the States now, so now I should have some more time to look into them.
Okay, I'll come back to you with that one somewhere else in the week.
No, dude.
How about the pawn shop? Does anybody go to the pawn shop in the next 5 days?
Yes. A couple people will go to the pawn shop just to looky-loo around a little bit.
Well,
as far as selling things,
the pawn shop's not actually about selling things. Maybe I've misnamed it there. Oh man, hearing myself come back through the mic is horrible. I hate my voice. No, the pawn shop is more about buying recyclable goods that can be melted down into raw resources.
okay. So roll a d10 for me. Okay. There's some people who are selling just random things like buckets or other such things, or just heirlooms or other nonsense, but it's not too significant. It's just barely enough where it's, yeah, you have something to melt down.
What would the boo equivalent be?
So yeah.
Resources are measured in boo for me.
So let's see, let's say 4 boo.
4 boo. Metal, right? Metal material, I'll just put that down as. Alright. I think that's all from me, unless people are going up and down river and require to pay for boat service.
At this point in the story, no. So
Okay.
most of the farmers are still getting used to all the change in the town, and how busy it's gotten. The tea house is kind of a regular fixture now. Lots of people are actually stopping by. The business is very, very brisk, and Ning is doing pretty well for herself, all things considering, and so if we're all set, we can pick up again with the spiders.
Indeed. Well, it looks like everyone's rested up. I have a bit of the militia, and one of those guards will be accompanying me. Isn't that nice?
Not really. That was going to be my reason to enter the story, so you're shanghaiing me of my own guards.
So yes, Yazi, are you going to come with to assist with the spider problem and make sure that your guard doesn't do anything rash?
You know, if you came along, they wouldn't have to leave, since I'd have your wonderful presence to come along.
I don't even know what you mean by they wouldn't have to leave.
Well, I mean, if you were to replace them and come along on the trip, I would much rather enjoy your company, that's for sure.
See, my original plan was to rejoin you guys with like a couple of my own guard. But then it turns out that my guard won't listen to me, they'll listen to the mayor. So, fuck, I don't know.
Well, one of them is willing to obey due to promises made and whatnot and oaths sworn, but the rest of them are following your commands, so whatever you want to do is up to you.
Yeah, I'll go. I don't want to sit out another session.
Okay, so...
I know that's my choice, but since we're just skipping healing time now, there's no point in me being worried about death.
That's true. Well, so let's go back to the road map here. 1 second. So I can dump tokens into the cavern map. Does exist as a separate entity, so you can always drop those units in, or we'll determine who's going in first and what the plan is before we do any of that. So for the sake of levity, we'll say that the trip out there is pretty straightforward and uneventful. You're not ambushed or what have you, but you do find the spider hole again. Roll a mind and observation.
Aha!
And there we go. It's 1 success and 1 success. Sheng Lupo and Yazi.
Oh, I have no observation.
Mind and observation.
Yep.
Would supernatural be useful here?
This is just about things initially, so I would say no.
Just 1 success for me.
Okay. Well, upon getting closer to the hole in the ground, you do see that it doesn't appear as though that there are any spiders out this time.
Interesting.
That's
I wonder where they
plus.
went. Perhaps they've simply stayed hidden. Well, first things first, secure the surface. Second things, we need to spread out and search for this cavern. If there's a way to get in other than taking a rope, I'd prefer that.
Take 2 at finding a bonus hole.
Right, we have like an extra 8 people along this time. Hopefully that might be enough ice to simply stumble upon it, I suppose.
Okay. Well, I suppose if you're going to...
there's no guarantee that such a thing exists.
Yeah. So in this case, if you do the rote, you really don't find any other entrances. The ground seems fairly flat, a little rugged, but there's no hole in a bunch of rocks or anything like that. It's almost like you're on top of probably some kind of flat stone surface.
Right. Well, that doesn't necessarily bode well for tactics in the situation. So, how about taking another peek down that well?
So who's gonna do it?
Can we start by lowering some light down there?
Sure, you can tie a torch to the end of the rope.
Yeah. That's better than tying me to the end of the rope. I'm on board with this plan.
So okay, I take it then.
I stare
So
into
who's
the
who's
void.
gonna do that?
I guess since I'm the rope man, I'll lower the rope.
So you tie the torch to the edge of the to the well, and since you're standing kind of looking down, or is everybody sort of circled around the lip of the, or is it just Sheng Lupo?
Y'all better.
I am pretty good at observing things, so I will be there.
Lue, you can see in the dark. You should just be here naturally anyway.
Lue will be right back, so I'll just move him to the edge. Okay. So make a mind and observation and give yourself an extra D8.